Good morning, Nigeria. As I always say, TVC has got a finger on the pulse and our eyes constantly on the streets, and we do our best to bring you trending stories from across the globe and Nigeria in order to have some decent and hopefully interesting and informative dialogue about said stories. In our first story, controversial entertainer Darlington Okoye, better known as Speed Darlington, or as Ria likes to call him Speedy, is still facing serious scrutiny after comments he made during a recent Instagram live session drew widespread attention and concern. During his live stream, the singer appeared to brag about a sexual encounter with a 15-year-old girl, a claim that, of course, quickly caught the attention of both the public and private authorities. The Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency formally reported the matter to the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, and they urged a full investigation into what they called deeply troubling remarks. In response, Speed Darlington attempted to retract his comments in a follow-up video, claiming they were only part of a publicity stunt for his new song. He also issued sort of a public semi-apology, saying he didn't intend to offend or cause any discomfort. But the apology has, of course, hasn't stopped the legal wheels from turning. In a statement that was released yesterday, NAPTIP confirmed that it has officially summoned the artist for questioning and has made it clear that further action will be taken if he fails to respond by today. But Speedy doesn't seem to be genuinely remorseful about any of this. Take a look at his reaction when the case first started gaining traction.
15 self, if I know say 15 go bring me this attention, I for say now 12, make una head catch fire. Now because say I dey south now, the same conversation that I was just having with my lawyer. Now because say we are in southern Nigeria, would you come at me like this if we were in Sokoto? Now, go north where 70-year-old, they marry 11 years old. Mr. Activism. Go north. No. Chebi, you carry am for head. Activism, my ass. Go north. Where 70-year-old men, they marry 11. I saw one, 2021.
Essentially, what he was saying in that video, as you heard, he said he's only being haggled and judged because he's in the south, and if he was in the north, this behavior would be acceptable. This is absolutely alarming. Under the Child Rights Act of 2003, this statutory rape does carry a sentence of life imprisonment, whether or not he thought the minor was of legal age, or whether or not the minor even consented. So I really hope that he shows up at the NAPTIP headquarters today to answer for this sort of sentiment, because this is dangerous. This is a statement by NAPTIP, as you can see, saying that if he does not respond to them today, there will be legal consequences. Let's take a look at some tweets. At Pressure says, but you are not in the north, but you're in the south. What if someone says the same thing to your daughter at 15 years old? What would be your reaction? I hate the fact that in order to get some men to really sympathize with the plight of women, we have to idealize them as their daughters or friends or sisters. It shouldn't have to happen that way. At Bella says, you are all hypocrites. This same thing is very common in northern Nigeria, all in the name of religion. All this preferential criticism can never make our country a better place. Two wrongs don't make it right, Bella. And finally, at Kenne Valentine says, well, this is who y'all made popular. Enjoy every bit of his popularity. Indeed, we should be careful who we confer the title of celebrity or public personality on. In our next story, the long arm of the law has finally caught up with Levi Obieze, the native doctor better known as Ezeani Ideplay Idesho, who has been on the run following shocking allegations of ritual killings and kidnappings in Enugu State. Now, in a statement that was released yesterday, the Nigeria Immigration Service confirmed Obieze's arrest. According to the spokesperson for NIS, Akinsola Akinlabi, Obieze was intercepted by Border Patrol officers along the Baji checkpoint on the Badagry-Seme Road while attempting to flee the country on a motorcycle. Now, the suspect, a resident of Umuojo village in Isiago community, had allegedly orchestrated the kidnapping of a 13-year-old girl earlier this week, and his name was dominating headlines after two decomposing corpses of pregnant women were discovered buried in soakaway pits within his compound, which is, of course, a revelation that left the community and Nigeria as a whole reeling. Meanwhile, students of community secondary school Umana Indiago in his community, who lost a classmate due to his ritualistic acts, took to his compound to reportedly lay curses on him. Take a look at this moving scene.
Lay a curse on him and all his gang, that it will never be well with him. I see this.
This is a community that has been thrown in mourning because of one man's evil and one man's greed. When we talk about the importance of border control, this is what we're talking about. The border was our last line of defense to catch this man. And people did raise a lot of questions online. How did he pass so many police checkpoints to even get to the border in the first place? I really do commend the Nigerian Immigration Service. Let's take a look at social media. And this is a press release by the Nigerian Immigration Service. They say that they've kidnapped him and they're going to take the case forward. Let's take some social media reactions. Agbolahan says, upon all the police and other security agencies' checkpoints from Enugu State, they could not see him because they are after the bribe he could offer. Thank you at Nigeria Immigration for a job well done. I concur. Another tweet. At Flowing Lava says, this is good news. How was he able to reach Lagos from Enugu beating all security checkpoints and now wants to jackpot to Benin Republic? Kudos to Nigerian Immigration for making this possible. He cannot run. The police should expose those who are his clients and how he does his job. This is very interesting. There was, okay, I'll take another tweet actually. Rare Breed said, this is foolishness. That man committed a crime, so demolish the house, clear up the place and use the land for something meaningful. Take your time and send that man to before he goes back for judgment. As you curse the land, how does that affect the man? And one more tweet. Now, this was a very interesting exchange I found on social media. One user, Nedu Brave, said, they should shoot this man on sight. Another user says, we need to know the people he's working with in order to take justice. This is very interesting because on one hand, you have somebody saying capital punishment, which will hang him. On the other hand, we could lose out, team, on vital intelligence, on who he's working with, on the supply chain that is selling and dealing in human life.
Yes. When something like this happens, you know, people get really emotional. And one thing about social media is that you can vent. You can say anything you want to say on social media, whether it's good, bad, ugly, it doesn't really matter. Shoot him? Nah, come on. he has a lot to tell security operatives. We're talking earlier on about spraying money in spite of the bad economy. This is what they do. What some of them do to get the money, the spray. Obieze, Levi. I believe that's like the Americans will say, another man has just beaten the dust. And that's your case, unfortunately. Speedy, speedy, speedy. I think what this guy is looking for is just to go viral on social media. And he's not thinking. He's just thinking of the number of likes, the number of hits that he has. And in the process, is putting himself in deep problems. NAPTIP has gone in. I pray they follow this thing to the end and he realizes his mistake at the end of the day and realize that not everything in life has to do with how many likes or how many views you have or whether you're viral on social media.
For me, it underscores the need for sex education, especially for younger children, be it from the age of 3 and 15 or 18, before 18, these persons need to be educated because whether we like it or not, Speedy was speaking about some of the realities we see in our society. Unfortunately, he came out to say he got himself involved. There are many people who get themselves involved in these things. I did not like the fact that he was now ethnicizing this whole matter. But we need to take sex education seriously. That's what I see from this whole matter. Yes, there's been several issues. A certain politician at some point in 2010 was said to have married a 13-year-old and all of it, what was done. Whatever it is no grounds to be pushing a narrative that we know is not right. And for me, that was not an apology. he should face the full wrath of the law. And talking about the Levi man, those who were involved with him should be arrested. There was a video of where he was spraying monies. Who are those people that he was wearing uniform with? All of those persons should be called to question, their homes ransacked, to understand what it is they are involved with moving forward. We need to rid our society of these kinds of persons who cut short the lives of people, who throw families into sorrow and mourning. And we need to ensure that at the end of the day, we put in place the needed policy to addressing these matters that keep enabling people to do these kinds of activities.
Exactly, and for Speed Darlington, he's not remorseful at all. For him to come out and make that statement just shows that he's not remorseful. And he keeps speaking about, you know, I saw a place where he said he did it for publicity. What publicity? To which career? I think he doesn't understand that he's a fallen artist. I don't understand the career he's trying to give publicity to. Like, make me understand. And also as artists, and also as artists, we need to understand that not everything is content. Some statements are too big for you to say you want to trend, and trend over what? No, you don't even have any. I just hope he gets to prison and he's locked, because I also feel that he thinks that they cannot do anything to him. So I really pray that, you know, the law handles him properly. And also, I'm happy that they found the man. Big ups to Nigerian immigration. God bless you. One cold water for you this morning. And the man, they should not shoot him. They should not kill him. They should gather all the information so that the chain, because it can't be only that man. Yeah. People are buying. Think like it's a long chain. I'm sure when you find out, so maybe. I don't even want to mention what I want to mention so that they don't sack me from this country. But anyway, I think that, you know, they should get all the information that they need from that man before they finally lock him in jail and throw the keys away.
Yeah, Nigeria likes you, so they won't sack you. Just do your thing. So one thing about Speed Darlington, I really don't know much about the guy, but I know oftentimes we've talked about him sometimes, you know, on this table. And I feel I saw the video this morning. It was just disgusting. The way he was talking, in fact, everything about what he said, you know, is just disgusting. Because how can you say that, okay, go to the north? Do you not know that there's something that is called Child Rights Act? It is only domesticated in 24 states in Nigeria. In the north, they've failed, or they've kicked against it. They do not domesticate it. That's why you can see that happening there. So down south, remember this Yoruba actor, Baba Ijesha. He had gone to prison, you know, 16 years in prison because of this. So one thing is, this guy doesn't know anything. And I saw a post of his lawyer, by his lawyer, where he said, I think the proverb reads something like, a dog that would not hear the whistle, a dog that refuses to hear the whistle of a hunter is ready to go astray. And he who the gods wants to make, you know, go astray or wants to punish, he will first make them run mad or something like that, just paraphrasing. So that's to say that where we have VDM having his own issue with the lawyer, causing a lot of issues for his own lawyer is doing everything to support him. But this Speed Darlington is causing more issues that the lawyer is running away from all the issues that is causing. So I think it should be speedily dealt with so that he gets speedily to prison if he's found guilty.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your contributions. In terms of the Enugu case, I really hope that this highly publicized case, and even having a dialogue right now about this, will be a public deterrent for several people. It's still trending now here on TVC Breakfast Show. Unfortunately, earlier this week, we marked Children's Day, reflected on 50 years of the Economic Community of West African States, and even had a Senate fashion moment with Orji Ujo Kalu's Tinubu 2027 outfit. But unfortunately, in the midst of these headlines, a deeper, more pressing issue remains: safety and the security of Nigerians. A video now circulating online shows residents of Agan in Benue State fleeing in panic to the North Bank area of Makurdi, allegedly due to another attack by suspected herdsmen. In the video, men, women, and children are seen clutching what little they could carry, once again displaced and afraid. As we continue to celebrate milestones and as political theater plays out in the country's capital, communities like Agan are still caught in cycles of violence and fear. It's so sad to me that while we celebrated Children's Day in some parts of this country, some children were being displaced as we speak. Some children were forced to flee their homes. Some children witnessed bloodshed. It's so sad that this is still going on. I'm not going to take any social media reactions on this because a lot of them were very emotional and angry. But in our final story, a video making the rounds on social media shows a man physically assaulting a staff member at a very popular supermarket in Abuja, and it's sparking strong reactions online. Now, it's no secret that customer service in Nigeria often leaves much to be desired. Many Nigerians have shared frustrating experiences with sales reps who are either dismissive, rude, or poorly trained. But does that ever justify violence against them? In the video that you're watching, this man had enough of a sales rep and he took matters into his own hands. Now, no matter what may have triggered this encounter, assaulting a worker on duty, I think it crosses the line, and we have to handle conflict better as a country. And we have to ask ourselves, are we becoming too angry as a nation? Are we becoming too comfortable using force to express our dissatisfaction? Let's take a look at social media. At Ochiawuto says, the owner of that shop should sack all the staff wearing green clothes. They are all hopeless. A customer is beating your fellow staff and none of you did anything. At Mikolado says, 3 other guys stood there while one of their own is being abused. Oh, wow. A lot of these people are working for highly placed individuals. It's a popular supermarket in Abuja. Who knows what their customer service training and asks of them. But team, I would really like us to hone in on this story about residents of a part of Benue, Agan, fleeing their residences, being displaced once again. In another part of the country, we're celebrating Children's Day and discussing ECOWAS's 50th anniversary, while these sort of sad, harrowing stories aren't really making the headlines.
It's tiring when you remind yourself that this is 2025 and we're still hearing about headsmen sacking communities. It is really sad. You don't want to find yourself in that kind of situation. And for the supermarket incident, there is no reason whatsoever for anyone to resort to violence anywhere, not just in supermarkets, anywhere at all. The person that says the other staff were there seeing their fellow staff being assaulted, yes, you're right. But what would they do? Big question.
Right. A lot of people need to learn conflict resolution and knowing how to manage conflict and speak through it. It's critical that their boss get to go learn that. There are different ways to addressing the issue, whatever it is that staffer did. And then for the Agan issue, it's sad. And I hope that the state government and the federal government resolve the matter.
Just as what Veronica has said, when it comes to kids, I'm even too emotional to speak about it, but I just hope the matter is resolved. And also to the supermarket, I don't think violence should be done anywhere. I think they could have handled it better.
If you had seen that video, you know, thank God we didn't have to show that. But the thing is quite distressing. And that man, I don't know, he should be arrested. If he has not been arrested, they should look for him, arrest him, and charge him to court for, you know, batter or assault.
Absolutely.
Because it's really, really sad how you're attacking your fellow human. Because of what? Over what? You can always resolve issues without, you know, having resort into violence. All right. That's my take.
Thank you, Olamide, for those
You're welcome.
stories. That's the much we can take on the program for today. Let's let you know that the views and reaction of all our resource persons are theirs and have no connection with TVC News. Up next is Your View with the Ladies. Afterwards is This Morning with Yori Folarin. Stay safe. Bye.